So, welcome to the next section. I know you're saying, wait a minute, the board didn't change. You're right, the board didn't change. The board didn't change because it's the exact same stuff. And I do mean the exact same stuff. I don't know why they put it in two different sections. I guess they wanted you to practice writing the equation and then solving it in the next section. I don't know. I want it all done at the same time. You got to do them all at the same time anyway. So, for this section, instead of me doing a whole bunch of examples, since I just did 3, I figure you can go ahead and skip a bunch of the examples and the video stuff and just go ahead because you've already done some classwork, so you kind of got a roll and a rhythm going. You can go ahead and get started on the classwork for this section too. So I'm going to write this one in pink so that you don't get mixed up. Classwork is going to be the class exercises. Number 1, then practice exercises. Numbers 2 through 14 even, and then 18 and 22. That's a lot of classwork. You should get tons of practice on this before you actually move on to the homework. And yes, there is homework today. Homework is the practice exercises, numbers 1 through 17 odd. So you can actually check those solving answers in the back and understand that it's the solving part that's in the back. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, couldn't you just tack this on to the last video? Well, sure, I could have, but I wanted you to get to see me again. Okay, so we need to talk about your test. I know you want to know what you're going to have to do tomorrow for your review. I can't remember if it's actually tomorrow or if it's next week. Whenever you do your review, I wanted to go ahead and put it in there so that you understand what I kind of emphasized and what I really pushed towards. So instead of me telling you specific numbers, if you look on page 130, they have sections written off to the side in red. They're written on the right-hand side of the pages in red. So what I'm going to do is tell you specific sections that you can go to kind of get some idea. So you can work in the chapter review just like you did before with the odd problems because you know what the answers to the odd problems are. You can go to that specific section and look up problems there that are like the classwork that we've done or like the homework that we've done. Or you can go and look on the test that's on the next page and see if you can kind of tell which section it's going to be on. So first things first, you absolutely positively have to know how to solve an equation, at least a 2-step equation, not just a 1-step equation. Section 3.1 and 3.2 are all about solving 1-step equations. So they're good. That's not all that I'm looking for. Section 3.3 and 3.4 is where we started talking about solving 2-step equations. 3.3 was pretty simple 2-step equations. 3.4 was equations that had decimals and fractions in it. So when you start looking at that, all that stuff that says 3.1, 3.3, all that's good stuff to know. Because all that's going to end up being on the test. When you look at evaluating formulas, I don't know that I actually put any of those on there. That's the stuff that we did in section 3.5. 3.6. 3.5 was the properties. So in 3.6, I might have 1 or 2, not very many up there out of that section. In 3.5, next to none. And the reason why is that it's all about the properties. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to know the properties. I might actually ask you for a property. But it's not in a proof at all, because I couldn't get any of those, and I didn't want to write one out. So you don't have to worry about that. All you have to be able to do is tell me what property it is. So definitely know the associative properties, definitely know the commutative properties, definitely know the distributive property, the inverse, and the identity property. Those are the big ones. I doubt I'm going to have anything up there about the reflexive, transitive, symmetric, all that stuff. Not that you're not going to see them later. You will when we get to geometry. Oh my gosh. So then you have this whole section that says 3.4, 3.7, and 3.8. I did do some of that. But believe it or not, my stuff like that is more like this than it is the evaluating that we did in 3.4. It couldn't be in 3.6. The evaluating formulas. Not so much like that. More like this. More of the write the equation and then solve it thing. Because like I said, I've got to know that you know how to solve. Now, a tip for you. If I ask you to write anything, I need for you to write it. So if I tell you to solve an equation, don't just give me an answer. I need to see all your work. Show me where you drew the line. There will be space on the test for you, and if you need more space, you can just get another sheet of paper, or you can turn to the back of that page, whatever. Your mom will make sure I get a picture of it. So, but you need to make sure you show the work. Don't try to just, gotta show me the work. Show the work. Box your answers. Make it nice and pretty, and everything will be fine. And you did a great job on the first test doing that. So I think you'll be fine. But I just want to emphasize, show me the work. Because if you get something wrong, if you make a careless error, I can at least give you partial credit for some of what you've done. Whereas if you show me no work, I can't give you any credit. It's all wrong. Even if you did something, and I can tell that you did something, if you didn't write it down, it doesn't help. So make sure you show me your work. Okay, so I've emphasized everything I think I need to emphasize. You can always rewind and rewatch this again to figure out and make sure you studied everything you need to study. This is really about you learning how to study for yourself, because when you get to college, real college, they don't tell you what to study. They don't give you anything. They just kind of throw you out there and see what happens. I don't want to do that with you. I want to give you some idea of where to go, what to study on. But at the same time, I need you to be able to figure out what you really need. Because you don't need everything that everybody else is going to need. You need to figure out what you really need to study. Okay, love you.